If you're struggling with this and you need some camaraderie on this journey, I had cystic, horrific acne all over my neck, all over my lower face. As we get close to the wedding, I'm saying to everyone, like, as soon as we get married, like, we're going to try for a baby. Like, I'm coming off birth control and we're going to go for it. Like, I'm going to be pregnant right away, just sort of being a bit silly and about it. And then the wedding happens and it's amazing. And I'm probably looking my best that I've looked in a long time. I have always really suffered with acne when I come off birth control. So I've come off, well, only really once actually in my life, when I was about 26, stopped taking birth control with this view of like, at some point I want to have kids. So I'll just come off it, not thinking it would be a massive deal. And let me tell you that hell broke loose. Like, I'm not going to put the photos in this video because I don't need to out myself on the internet like that. But like, if you're struggling with this and you need some reassurance, actually, maybe it's not even reassurance, just some like camaraderie on this journey. I had cystic, horrific acne all over my neck, all over my lower face. I tried everything. I saw every dermatologist. I cut out dairy, I cut out gluten, I cut out sugar, I cut out alcohol. Nothing made a difference. So after a year, having come off the pill back in when I was 26, I went back on. I was like, I can't fucking deal with this. Like, it was so emotionally, anyone who's suffered from acne, like, it is genuinely horrendous. Having to put makeup on to go to the gym is horrendous. Having to put any makeup on to join a Zoom call, to leave your house, because otherwise people would stare, because like, it was bad. So I go back on the pill. And this has been a massive thing. I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm coming off birth control before the wedding, because like, I know I will get horrendous hormonal acne. So the wedding ends, that's like June. And I'm thinking, okay, I need to come off the pill. But I am so terrified. Like, I can't tell you how upsetting this acne was when I had it last time. Like, every day I was putting makeup on. Sometimes I felt so disgusting, and I'm going to use that word, and I know that it is not disgusting, but I felt so disgusting that I couldn't leave the house. Like, it actually makes me quite emotional talking about it, because it was so upsetting. And I was thinking, God, I just can't do that. Like, mentally I cannot do it again. And I would cry to Chris and be like, you know, I want to be on this journey of starting a family, but like, I mentally can't go back to that place. And I understand people listening to this who have never had horrendous acne will be like, well, baby, yeah, starting a family, like having a child is more important than how you look. Completely understand. But when you have underskin, itchy, disgusting, every day the first thing you do is you run to the mirror and you're like, is it better or is it worse? Like, oh my God, how is it looking today? It's just gross. It's like, it's really not fun. And the other thing was, I kind of thought that at this point, I'm 31 in the story. Now I'm 33. I'm 31 at this point when we just got married. And I'm kind of thinking, they always say like, oh, your biological clock will kick in and suddenly you'll be like really, really broody for a baby. And don't get me wrong, like I actually like kids a lot. Like, when my nephew was born was a massive turning point for me. Before that, I was very much on this idea of like, I actually don't think I want kids. Like, the lifestyle, I actually have joked on my Instagram many times, and actually not really joking, being quite serious, that objectively having children does look quite horrendous. And I always had that in my mind. I was like, I love early mornings on my own. I love like going to the gym in the middle of the day. I love having my own time. And so I was kind of waiting to either be like, look, we're just not going to do it. And Chris had said, you know, he would like to start a family, but he very much was like, you know, we're together regardless of this. If you don't want children, we don't have children. So I felt really supported in like the decision either way. And I was kind of, I was waiting for this biological clock of like, okay, well, 31, like, when's this going to kick in? And are we going to get that real broodiness? It definitely helped when my nephew was born. Like, seeing him and seeing my brother and his wife really made me think like, oh, actually, it kind of looks quite nice. But the fear of pregnancy, the fear of my body, the fear of my skin was way more overwhelming. Sorry, I keep going down massive tangents. I need to just get to the point. Wedding is done, June. I'm thinking, okay, I do want to start a family. I want to try to start a family. So I need to come off birth control, but there is no fucking way I'm going cold sober off birth control. Like, what I do not need is horrendous cystic acne and a baby. Those two things together probably would make me want to jump off the roof. So I start working with a nutritionist, and she says, like, maybe you've got PCOS, like blah, blah, blah. We're doing like all this gut stuff, really like resetting my gut insides. Honestly, I don't really know the science of it. I probably should. I did so many tests for my blood, my hormones were all fine. Tests of my gut, like I've got leaky gut, but it's not that bad. We're doing all of these nutrition stuff, and I'm eating really well, and I'm taking like 20 supplements a day. And I'm feeling like, okay, now we have a plan. I will come off my birth control in like February, and then we'll try for a baby. We'll do all the foundations we can to make sure I'm in my healthiest place for my body, but also that I'm in the healthiest place for my skin to come off the birth control and hopefully be okay with it. And also in this time, I'm really being like, okay, do we want a kid? I don't know if anyone's ever done this. I actually really encourage people to do this if you haven't. Just like find moments in your day and think like, how would this be different if I had a child? And we used to do it all the time. We'd be at dinner and be like, would we have a kid here right now? Or would we have a babysitter? Or would be like on holiday, like Chris tours a lot, and be like, would we have brought the baby to this, or would we have left it at home? Or would I have stayed at home with the baby? Like, what would we have done? We were kind of testing these scenarios. And I think the excitement just built a bit more, and we were like, actually, yeah, this is what we want long term, and maybe we'll never feel ready. And the other thing people kept saying was like, well, you never feel ready. Like, you just kind of go for it and you work it out. So I do come off my birth control in February. And what happens? Literally 3 weeks in, poof, my face, my neck. Like, you guys might be looking at this and being like, oh, your skin looks fine. If you've seen me anytime in the last 5-6 months, you will know that I have perfected the art of makeup. Actually, no, that's way too much credit. I haven't perfected the art of makeup. I just can cover my acne well now. But if you see me in the morning, you will get shocked by my face. And that is how it is. The gut work obviously definitely had an impact, made me healthier, but it didn't stop my acne breaking out. Those hormones still just sucker punched me. And this is a whole other tangent I could go down. And actually, maybe I should find someone who can talk about this on the pod, because I truly believe that I had been on birth control since I was like 16. I feel like I never went through and also I was a late bloomer. Like, I didn't get my period until I was like 15, 16. I was like absolute washboard, didn't have any boobs until I was like 17. I feel like I never went through a true like hormonal balance before I was on birth control. And that's a whole other topic. Like, I actually think it's fucked. Like, I think obviously birth control is fantastic in many, many ways. For me, I wish I'd never been on it. I wish I had been taught the responsibility to not get pregnant rather than being on birth control. But again, I'd love to chat to someone on the pod about that, because I also don't want to spread misinformation. Like, maybe I'm just really unlucky and I would have had acne in my 20s anyway. But it was rough. It was rough seeing my face like this again. And I was kind of mentally transported straight back to when I was 26, coming off the pill last time, and being like, oh, yeah, I fucking hate this. So that was really, really difficult. And I stopped taking the pill. And I'm also at this point toying with, I mentioned like my nutritionist had thought maybe I had PCOS. And there's different types of PCOS. There's one that can be like induced by your pill. I don't know if induced is the right word, but like related to taking the pill. So I'm thinking, okay, in 3 months' time, I'll get tested for PCOS. I nearly got tested for it before. I had a scan, but I was still on the birth control. They couldn't diagnose it. Like, that's a whole other story. I think I actually talk about that in my episode with either Calypso or Louisa. We were talking about like fertility checks, but I'm thinking, okay, 3 months time, we'll go and get this PCOS test, and then we'll understand what's going on with my skin, and we'll understand what's going on with my fertility, because the pill masks, I don't know again if masking is the right word, but the pill changes how your hormones are expressed, obviously, and it's not a clear picture of your hormones because you're taking synthetic hormones. So I stopped taking the pill in February, and I was on that one where you take it for 21 days, then you have a 7-day break, and then you take it again. And in that 7-day break, you have like a fake period. It's like a bleed. So your womb lining is like kind of done that thing. It grows up, it pads itself ready for the egg, but you're not ovulating. So the egg never comes. So the womb lining sheds. So it's not like a real period because it's just like a little bit of womb lining. So I always had super light periods, and it gets to the 21-day mark and I have that. So I'm like, oh, this is actually amazing. Like, I've got my period back, like straight away. I was not expecting this. I was really thinking, oh, it will take months for this to come back to normal. Like, I've been on the pill apart from 1 year off since I was 16. And at this point I'm 32. So my birthday's in May. That's why February this year, I was 32. So I'm thinking, this is good. Like, I guess my hormones are shifting. Like, probably my skin will clear up soon. Like, everything will get back to normal. It'll be fine. And like, we'll go down the route and hopefully our fertility's good. So that happens. Great. And then I'm waiting for my next period. 3 weeks passes and I'm like, okay, so it's not on the 21-day cycle. That kind of makes sense. Another 2 weeks pass, and then by this point, my period is like, I think 2 weeks late or something. And I'm thinking like, fuck, I'm just not ovulating. Like, I obviously haven't ovulated because, yeah, like I haven't had a period. And then in my head, I'm like, I wonder if I could be pregnant. Like, that would be crazy. Like, to do it straight away, like not even one kind of full cycle. So this is the other thing, is at this point, I'm 2 weeks late. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe you are pregnant. I should take a test. So I take a test. I take the Boots own brand, the cheaper ones. I take 2 of them in the morning, as you're supposed to do. And they both say negative. So I'm like, okay, this is what I thought. I haven't ovulated. I ring my doctor and I'm like, hey, haven't ovulated. Hey, it's Lydia. Haven't ovulated. What do I do? And he's like, you just wait. You just got to wait. Like, it could take 3 months. It could take 6 months. Like, that's pretty normal coming off the pill. And I'm like, okay, but I had this period. And he says, no, you probably didn't have a period. You probably had a withdrawal bleed, which is where there's like enough hormones still in. Is my nipple out? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, good. God, then I'll have to re-record the whole thing, or just put a little box on it. Maybe I'll just put a little box on my nipple. Sorry. Yeah. And then he was like, you probably had a withdrawal bleed. And I was like, oh, okay, which is basically like there's still enough of the pill hormones in your body to cause that bleed that you would usually have on the 7-day break. So I'm thinking, okay, fine. And then another like 3 or 4 weeks pass. And now I'm in early June and I've been feeling a bit rough. And one day I'm making meatballs, turkey meatballs in the kitchen. And I'm like, ugh, I feel weird. And I'm making the meatball and I'm like, ugh. I was like, what the fuck? Making the meatball, ugh. Sorry for anyone who really hates this noise. This is actually horrible to listen to on a podcast. But I'm like retching. And then I'm chatting to my friend and she's like, oh, are you pregnant? And I was like, no, I took 2 tests. And she's like, okay, well, just seems weird. She's like, kind of seems like pregnancy symptoms. I was like, yeah, I know, but like I haven't ovulated and I've taken 2 tests. So like absolutely no chance in hell. Anyway, it rolls around and I've got a festival coming up at the weekend with the girls. We're going to see Jamie XX. And then I'm like, okay, babe, you need to drink through this situation because you still feel unwell. And it's like Friday morning, the festival's on Saturday. I'm like, I'm going to just take another test to triple check, because otherwise tomorrow I'm going to get back on my tequila roll I love a tequila, for anyone who knows me. Drink of choice, always. Me and tequila, best friends. Yeah, I'm thinking like, you've got to drink through this. That is the only way to go. So I'm like, fine. But I think I'm just going to do another test, because just in case things get really rowdy the next day, what I don't want to do is accidentally like flood a new fetus with tequila. So I'm like, I'll just do another test just to put it out of my mind and know like 100% everything is fine, drink through it, cool. So I go and buy like a fancy clear blue digital. I think they're like $14.99. Other brands are available. But I buy one of those. It's got a little digital screen on, stick it in the bathroom. And then when I wake up the next day, we're sleeping on a mattress on the floor at this point, because we've just moved into the house and we don't have a bed yet. And I wake up really early, I'm busting for a wee, it's like 6 a.m. And I go into the loo and I see it on the side of the bath, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just do the test now. Because apparently that's the best thing, like pee when your bladder's really full from the nighttime. And so I pull it out and I pee and I put it down. I'm completely half asleep. I've actually never done a digital pregnancy test before. It's like loading. And then the screen shows up and it just says pregnant.